The Premier League season is finally here, and that means it is time for predictions. And today we are going to be predicting every Premier League team's final position at the end of the season. We're going to start with the relegation zone, the bottom three teams that will finish at the Premier League table. I think this is going to be the case of three teams getting promoted and the same three teams going back down. I think Coventry City, Hull and Ipswich, I do think they're just going to go straight back down. I don't think their squads are good enough for the Premier League. I think, obviously Ipswich, I think they were in the season, was it 2 seasons ago? I think 2 or 3 seasons ago. So they have a bit of experience, but Coventry City, Hull, they haven't been in the Premier League. Well, I don't even know if Coventry City have been in the Premier League. Have they been in the Premier League before? I don't actually know. Hull have obviously been in the Premier League before, but that was years ago now. I'm not feeling very confident for the new teams, unfortunately. I think Coventry will finish bottom, Hull second bottom, and Ipswich third from bottom. I think Ipswich might put up a bit of a fight, but I think Hull and Coventry, I think they're going to go straight back down, in all honesty. Next up, I don't really know what to really kind of confirm with this. I'm going to go with like 12th to 17th here. So I think 17th, I'm going to go Leeds. I think Leeds, they obviously survived last season. Did they even... I don't even know where they finished in the table. Where did they even finish in the table last season? Oh wow, okay, Leeds actually finished 14th. I thought they finished like 16th. They actually finished 14th. Okay, fair enough. Joke's on me, I guess. Well, I've got them down at 17th. I think it's tricky because, I mean, the teams that finished below them are Spurs, who are just going to, I think they're going to have a really good season. Nottingham Forest and Palace, who, to be honest, were just going after the Conference League at the end of it. I think Leeds, they've strengthened a bit. They've got a good goalkeeper in James Trafford. They have got... they did sign Harry Wilson on a free. That's a good signing for them. I just think, I mean, if Calvert-Lewin has a decent season just like he did last season, I don't see why they can't do okay. But I'm not expecting much from Leeds. Again, I think they'll comfortably finish above relegation zone, but I think they're just, they'll just be there. 16th, I'm going Everton. I don't expect a lot from Everton as well. They obviously did a swap deal with Crystal Palace, Brennan Johnson going to Everton, and Dwight McNeil, going to Palace. A bit of a weird one, but hey ho. But Brennan Johnson didn't score at all with Palace, so I don't know about that one. It's a tricky one with Everton. They can be good, they can be bad. I think they've comfortably finished above the relegation zone. I don't think they were going to be in a relegation fight at all, but it's so tricky. I genuinely think this is like one of the most tricky predictions because I think there's just so many teams that could just be like there, and I just have to put somebody there. So, yeah, and I'm a Liverpool fan, so screw Everton. Next up, this might be a bit of a rogue one, but to be fair, they finished, I think, in this spot last season anyway. I'm going to go Crystal Palace next in 15th. Obviously, they've got a new manager. He managed, who was it? Was it Lens last season in French League? Did really well. I don't know how his footballing play style is, but I also think with the Europa League and I don't think they've really strengthened that well. Whoops! I just got the other page. I don't think they've strengthened that well, to be honest. I think for a team that is in the Europa League next season, I was, expecting a bit more from them. But, I guess they're very happy with what they've got. Don't get me wrong, their squad isn't bad. I mean, they're keeping hold of Adam Wharton for now, who I thought was going to go this summer, but clearly they're going to keep hold of him. I haven't really actually seen much rumours or speculation around his future this summer, so no, they're doing well to keep hold of him. But yeah, nothing really screams out to me for Crystal Palace. So yeah, again, and they got the Europa League, so I feel like if they kind of are in a similar spot like this and they progress far into the Europa League, I generally think they'll just go all out for the Europa League like they did with the Conference League. But yeah, Palace, what's that, 15th? 15th. Next up in 14th, I'm going to go Fulham. They had an okay season. They finished around mid-table last season, but new manager in Arbeloa, former Real Madrid manager, didn't have the best season at Real Madrid last season, or not full season, but you know, had his good days and bad days. Will be very interesting to see how he goes at Fulham. The squad doesn't really blow me away. They haven't lost too much. They obviously lost Harry Wilson on a free. But besides that, the squad doesn't seem too dissimilar to what it was last season. They signed Garcia, I think also from Real Madrid. I don't know if that's a loan or permanent. I think it was a loan, I want to say. So again, it'll be interesting to see how they get on. But again, I'm not expecting too much from Fulham. I think they'll just, again, be in around that middle spot. 13th, Newcastle. I genuinely am a bit worried about Newcastle this season. Not in terms of I'm scared about them, because I've got them finished 13th. You know, they've lost Bruno Guimaraes. They lost, obviously he's at the season before. Their squad just feels like it's slowly falling apart, which is crazy to me. And I think last season was really a kind of a absolute turbulent season for them. Completely flipped from what they've experienced over the few previous seasons. So yeah, I don't really know what to expect from Newcastle this season. Obviously, as well, a new manager, getting rid of Eddie Howe. Know nothing about their new manager, but I think to begin with, it's going to be a big struggle for them. They're going to struggle a lot, I think, towards the beginning of the season. I think they might pick up form in the latter end, but to begin with, I think they're going to struggle, and that's where it's going to cost them. 12th, I'm going to go Brighton. Brighton was the team I was just like, I have no idea where I'm going to put them. Like, genuinely no idea. I haven't really heard much about Brighton. I know they've lost Danny Welbeck to Chelsea, who was a big player for them last season, and to be fair, since he's been there, really. But you know, Brighton always seems to do well. They've obviously had their manager now for a couple of seasons, so they're able to build on that more. It'll be interesting. They've got a couple of good players in there, a couple of exciting talent, but again, not expecting a lot from Brighton. Generally, it could finish there, could finish where Everton is, for all I know. Like, Brighton was generally a one that I was like, I have no idea where I'm putting them. So they're just there because I just needed somebody there. Okay, so now we're about halfway in. We are on the 11th spot now. I'm going Nottingham Forest. I think they're going to have an okay season under Oliver Glasner. A very interesting appointment, one that definitely raised a few eyebrows, I think, when he got appointed. Bearing in mind he left Crystal Palace at the end of his contract, thought he was going to go on to a bigger club. No offence, Crystal Palace. And then, you know, Nottingham Forest came calling and he was like, yeah. So, but I think it was more so because of the stuff that was going on behind the scenes with Crystal Palace, you know, with Mark Gurhey and Eze. You know, he was losing key players of his team and he didn't really have a say in it. I think with Nottingham Forest being there, he's going to have a bit more of a say in the transfers and what the squad is, etc. And I think the Nottingham Forest squad is decent. Again, haven't really lost too much, but I think their squad was already pretty decent. If they keep a hold of Morgan Gibbs Wright, that's a good thing for them. If Chris Wood is back and fit and firing again like he was the season before last, that's going to be big for them. Nottingham Forest, I think, are going to be in for a good season, and with no European football this time around, I think they can go a bit further in the league than they did last season. We'll be interested to see. Coming in at 10th, right in the middle, I'm going Sunderland. Now looking at it, I'm thinking maybe I've put Sunderland too high. But I'm going to stick with it. Sunderland surprised everyone last season, I think. I did think maybe they were going to survive. I didn't think they were going to get European football at all. Crazy season for them, so fair play to them. I do think they're going to have a bit of a dip in form. I think that them being in Europe will definitely harm them a bit in the league, but I also don't think they're going to get that far in Europe. So I also think it's not going to have a major part to play in their season. But again, they've kept hold of the key players. They've kept hold of Granit Xhaka, who was a big player for them last season. And I just think they're going to go back into the season fit and firing and going for it again and challenging again. So, yeah, I think Sunderland are going to do fine. I think they're going to be absolutely fine. Coming in at 9th, again, another surprise one, Brentford. A lot of people had them around the relegation zone last season. And, God, again, did we get proven wrong. Almost managed to get Europe. But still, a very good squad. And maybe not necessarily of individual talent, but as a squad, as a collective, they work together well as a team. And the manager, being part of the backroom staff probably helped, keep that kind of consistency and being able to build on that more and more. They've got Callum Wilson. Huh. Interesting. I didn't know that. The more you know. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be absolutely fine. Again, not having Europe, so nothing really to worry about outside of the league. So I think they can just crack on and, keep with their long throw-ins and just keep annoying teams. And, yeah, I always get annoyed when we play Brentford because they really frustrate us. Final 8 now. I'm going Bournemouth next. In 8th spot. Again, another manager. A lot of these teams have got new managers. It's particularly the top 6, which we'll get to in a bit. But yeah, I think Bournemouth. I think again, not losing their key players. Krupi is still there, albeit injured. But Ryan, who looks really promising. And I think the manager that they've appointed, they clearly looked into it. They knew that their old manager, Iraola, was leaving. So they went and looked for his replacement, and they got him. Is it Marco Rosa? Decent appointment. Has managed some decent teams. So I think Bournemouth are in for an exciting season. And they've got European football. So I think regardless of what happens, I think Bournemouth are going to be in for a really fun season. And again, I think their team, their squad, albeit no real superstars yet, I think as a team, they're going to work really well. So yeah, I think Bournemouth fans should be excited for this season. I think they really should. Coming in at 7th, before we get into the top 6, this was tricky. This was really tricky, and I think this happened a few times over the last seasons. But I'm making the same mistake as many other people did. I'm going Aston Villa. Got Champions League football again, which is big for them. But I think they are losing a couple of key players. Morgan Rogers, the big one, for sure. I mean, keeping hold of Watkins, I think, is good. The signing of Garnacho is a bit weird. Can't lie. But they're getting rid of. They're probably going to not use Martinez. I think he's on his way out, wherever that is. I don't know. But again, I think Aston Villa do really well, and I think I'm probably being harsh on them finishing 7th, to be honest. But yeah, I'm going to go with that. Now the top 6, and it is the OG 6, if you would. 6th, I'm going Chelsea. And I'm not bitter because Xabi Alonso chose Chelsea over us. I say that, we just didn't sack Slot in time. I just think with Chelsea, they're just so inconsistent and just so meh nowadays that I just don't really care. They finally decided to add a bit of experience into the team with Henderson and with Welbeck, but that is it's just what? And I'm looking at their team, I'm like, bloody hell, they have got so many players. It is crazy. I think they need a better goalkeeper. Get Martinez from Aston Villa. There you go. At least then you've got a somewhat decent keeper. I don't think Sanchez is still that good at that level. I think Lacroix is a decent signing for them. And obviously Morgan Rogers signing him, big signing for them. I just think they've got so many players now that they've got to start getting rid of some as well. But yeah, I think generally they just sign players for the sake of signing players. It is crazy how many players they sign. I don't really know what to expect with Chelsea. I really don't. I don't know if Xabi Alonso is going to be playing the back 4, back 5. Yeah. And obviously the Premier League is a lot different to the Bundesliga. But to be fair, I think Xabi Alonso did alright at Real Madrid. I don't really understand why they sacked him. More probably because of what's going on behind the scenes. But yeah, Chelsea's a weird one. I think, they are they're so up and down all the time with their performances that I think I'm being generous, to be honest, with them finishing 6th. Generally, I think I do. 5th spot, I'm going Spurs. Spurs have like just gone ho in the transfer market this season, but they kind of needed to. One, because they had loads of injuries. Don't know. I haven't seen Kudus and Kulusevski in donkey's years. Like crazy that I don't know where they are, but they've made a couple of good free signings. Andy Robertson and Sonetti, good signings. They signed Van Hecke. I'm butchering these pronunciations. They signed him from Brighton. They've signed Tonali, obviously. They signed Mateus Fernandes from West Ham. Big money signings. I think they're missing a striker. I think Richarlison is overrated as hell. I mean, that's coming from a Liverpool fan, but I still think he's overrated as hell. And Dominic Solanke is a bit injury prone nowadays. But I think under De Zerbi, they're going to just do really well. I think defensively they're going to be great. I think going forward they might struggle a bit because they don't have that talent. But if Kudus comes back, if Kulusevski comes back, that will make their team better. So I think Tottenham fans should look forward to this, especially after last season when they were so close to getting relegated. Oh, it would have been so beautiful if they got relegated, wouldn't it? 4th. We're in top 4 now. Guaranteed Champions League football. 4th, I'm going Liverpool. I could talk a bit about this because obviously I'm a Liverpool fan. I can't lie, I'm a bit nervous. I'm a bit nervous with this season. I understand it's a transition period. I like the appointment of Iraola. I do. I think the couple of signs we've made so far, I'm happy with. But we need more. We need more. You know, there's talks. Obviously, we've been in talks with Barcola for what feels like an eternity now. Also interested in that other PSG winner. His name escapes me. I can't remember. But then you've got talks of Coach Jones maybe leaving. Who else? Cody Gakpo going to Tottenham. Like, it's worrying. It is worrying, our squad depth. I think, especially in the midfield. And bear in mind the season, like we're about to kick off this weekend. I'm a bit scared. I'm a bit nervous. I think starting 11 wise, no problem. But we need quality off the bench as well, and I think that is where we're lacking. Again, if we sign Barcola, great. If we sign the other PSG winner, great. I still think we're missing something though from that. I still think we're missing something, particularly in that midfield, like a proper holding midfielder. We don't have that. So yeah, I'm a bit nervous. But yeah, fourth, I think I'm being a bit optimistic. But I've got to be optimistic. We've got Champions League football as well, so let's just go for that. Third, I'm going Man United. It honestly sickens me that I've put Man United above Liverpool. But I don't think their squad's that much better than ours. I don't think it's actually better than ours. But I think going forward, they've got quality. They've got Sesko, who I think is actually going to have a pretty decent season for them, if he's fit. I did my fantasy Premier League, and he was like, he's injured, and I'm like, oh no, because I actually wanted to pick him because I thought he was actually going to have a pretty decent season. Brian Abramo, who else? Cunha, obviously Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, I think going forward they're great. I think defensively not so great, but Lemons, had a really good season last season. Yeah. Obviously they didn't have any European football last season, so they were able to just focus on the league. I don't think they're going to go far in Europe, in the Champions League. So that's why I'm kind of leaning them further ahead than us. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna be that far ahead of us. I hope. Now, the top two, Arsenal and City. I think everyone's kind of going with this same kind of thing. Man City second, Arsenal first. I think Arsenal will just go back to back. They're, out of all the teams here, they're the ones that have got the most consistency, the most solidity, just good manager. It pains me to say all this. Good manager, good squad depth. Haven't lost any big hitters from teams. You know, obviously there was that whole thing where, are they signing Vinicius Junior or not? I don't think they were ever going to sign him. But, you know, fair play to Arsenal fans for believing in that. Also love the Arsenal Fan TV thing where the announcement for Bruno Guimaraes, clearly for Vinny Junior, but hey ho. I just think defensively solid. You know, you can't really say much wrong about Arsenal. Just that they're disgusting the way they play, and they're haramble, disgusting. And then City second. I don't know what to expect with City now. You know, they're losing Rodri. They've lost. Who else have they lost? Obviously Pep. But yeah, I mean, signing Elliot Anderson. I mean, for a ridiculous amount of money, in all honesty. Obviously they've still got Haaland, but I don't know. And I mean, their performance against Arsenal over the weekend in the Community Shield, not got So, yeah, City will be an interesting one. But yeah, I think Arsenal are just going to again run away with the league, and I think come end of March, I generally think it's done. Essentially, it's basically Arsenal's there and then. I don't think they're going to win the Champions League though. I don't think Arsenal are going to win the Champions League. I don't think they ever will. Screw Arsenal. Okay, screw Arsenal. Okay, and that is my Premier League predictions. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think my predictions are crap? Probably. Probably. Let me know who you think is going to win the league. Let me know who you think is going to get relegated. And again, let me know how bad my predictions are. And we will come back to this at the end of the season and see how well I did. God, this is terrible. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, leave a like on the video and also subscribe so you don't miss any more. And I will see you all in the next one. Take care, everyone, and goodbye.